Welcome, everyone, to episode number 132 of Talkin Kentucky. My name is Coleman Scott. His name is Caden Holmes. I am here on a beautiful night in Frankfort, Kentucky. I'm not in Baton Rouge, Louisiana tonight. Caden is in Bowling Green, where I just was last week, coming through visiting Caden for the William Adam Trumpet Festival, otherwise known as Adam Fest, and Caden came down too, and it was in Clarksville, Tennessee, on the campus of Austin P State University. The Governors, Caden, which is a nice little mascot. That's a fun little, he's got the top hat going on too, kind of like the Ichabods over there at Washburn. So it was a good time, Caden.
How did you figure out the that they're the Governors?
I looked it up.
Okay.
So yeah, that was a pretty good indication. I just Googled it. I thought they could be a number of things. A guy with a top hat could be a general. It could be like a Commodore, like a Vanderbilt, right? It could be
the Lincolns.
It could be the Lincolns. Yeah, could be the Ichabod. Could be the Gentleman. Could be a number of things. But they're the Governors.
What'd you think about Clarksville?
I liked Clarksville. I thought, Caden, we had a good time walking around. Our trumpets, we left our trumpets in our car and they didn't get stolen. So that's a +1 for Clarksville, I think. That's good. We don't advise doing that, by the way. Probably shouldn't leave $20,000 worth of instruments in your car, but,
Yeah, there was
anyway.
There were definitely some sketchy moments that I was a little nervous while we were eating. But what'd you think? What was that place called where we ate at?
The mail room. Shout out to the mail room. That was a good place. They gave you a koozie if you ordered a drink.
And then a postcard at the end. I've never eaten somewhere and gotten a postcard after I ate there.
I guess you're supposed to mail it to yourself or something. Kind of remind yourself of the time that you had there. Like, oh, who's this from? Oh, it's from me. Oh yeah, I remember that. I don't know. Okay, and I actually went twice, so I have 2 postcards
and 2 koozies.
I actually just have 1 koozie because I didn't order a drink the first time, so I just have the one koozie. So, but that's all you need. You just need 1 good koozie, and that's all it takes. I feel like. But so, Caden, you feel like you learned some trumpet this weekend? You feel like you were able to, we both each bought some new trumpet gear, which we've never been real big gear heads. One of us spent a little bit more than the other.
Yeah.
But
let's not say how much on the show.
No, that's not.
I'm a little embarrassed.
No, that's not necessarily.
You don't buy. I don't buy horns often, Coleman. I think my last horn I bought was probably before my master's, sometime in my undergrad, which was
same.
I'm 7 or 8 years ago now. So
I'm not an equipment
That's
guy.
how I justify it in my mind.
Oh yeah, I got a valve alignment, and apparently it was so bad that it was basically like getting a new trumpet. So, with in that respect,
except that was a whole like 0 on the number cheaper than mine. Or a couple zeros maybe.
Yeah, maybe a couple zeros. That's okay. Yeah, our audience they probably want to hear about Kentucky sports and less about trumpet, but. You never know. Maybe they're enjoying listening about valve alignments and Yamahas and things like that. But anyway, Caden, it's hot. it's hot outside right now. Is it like as hot in Bowling Green as it is here? It's like I feel like it's as hot. It's like I never left Louisiana.
Yeah, I'm hot right here in my room. I feel like my AC is struggling to keep up right now in this house I'm renting.
Well, so I was thinking about this earlier. I was thinking about my favorite seasons. Basically it's summer year round in Louisiana. So, I am looking forward to fall and having a fall moving out to Kansas. So, fall is probably my favorite season. I don't know if that's just because I've missed it, but right now I would rank fall at the top of my seasons. I was thinking
growing on me.
Oh yeah.
Fall is
hoodie and jeans weather. You got the pumpkin spice, muffins and football,
the overpriced pumpkin lattes.
Yeah, I mean,
especially go to Starbucks, it's like double overpriced.
Yeah, it will,
and it doesn't taste as good.
As we mentioned before on the show, we're not huge fans.
Starbucks comment for the show.
Yeah. We've if there were such thing as the opposite of a sponsor of this show, it would be Starbucks. Like they're like our
or Duke
sponsor, or Duke. Yeah,
or Louisville.
That's true. But I was thinking about how I would rank my seasons, Caden, in order of my favorite to my least favorite. I think fall is my favorite, as I said. I think summer is actually my second favorite because there's no school. You can go to the beach. You take vacation. You can go. You can go do several things like that. And then I like winter. I think because Christmas and snow is also enjoyable. And then last but not least, I guess it actually would be least because it's last. Is spring, Caden? I don't like the allergies that come along with spring. I don't know. It's like a tease for summer. It's not quite summer yet, and it's just making you want it to be summer. So I'm gonna put that one last. But if you were to rank yours, Caden, what do you think it would be?
Well, I used to say summer is my favorite, but I absolutely hate mowing. So for that reason alone, the cooler seasons are starting to creep up there on my rankings. So I might have to go fall as the best as well. I never thought I'd say that.
Well, I mean, you're welcome to jump on the bandwagon. Fall bandwagon here's that's all you need. Okay, what's your second?
I'm gonna have to go. Oh man, that's a tough one. Maybe summer, I guess. And then
you just copying me now?
Well, I might put spring ahead of winter. I don't know. It's probably a tie. Spring and winter's a tie for me in third.
Spring and winter's tie for you in third. Okay, well, why? So you like the seasonal allergies and the teas of summer then?
I don't really get allergies that bad.
That must be nice. Anyway.
So you're telling me you're allergic to the change in seasons as well as peanuts and everything else?
I've got all the seasonal allergies, food allergies, you name it. I feel like I've got them all, Caden. But
I'm still impressed you bring that card around with you though. Instead of listing the 100 things you're allergic to the waitress, you just give them the card.
It does wonders, and for those that are wondering what Caden's talking about, for food allergies, pro tip. If you have 23 food allergies, like, I once did and don't have that many now, instead of listing them all off to your server, you put them on a little laminated card, give it to them, and just makes everything much easier. So yeah, I definitely recommend that.
So how many do you think you're down to now? You used to be 23.
Let's see. It's peanuts, tree nuts, sesame, chickpeas, and lentils, if you want to go. So I think, there's a lot of things that fall in the category of tree nuts, but if you want to count that as one, I think I would go 5 probably.
Man, I just feel sorry for you because I can't imagine not being able to eat Reese's.
Yeah, I feel like people either love or hate Reese's. Most people love them, but I have met a couple people that don't like them. Matt Jones included. I feel like he's one on the bandwagon that hates Reese's. I don't know what
that's Matt Jones.
It is, yeah. I don't know what there would be to hate though. Like both of those feel like they would be good things. But I guess I also wouldn't like them considering they would not be good for me to eat. But
there's just something about chocolate and peanuts. That's all I'm saying.
I feel you. I do the Trader Joe's dark chocolate and sunflower butter. Caden, I feel like that's as close as I can get. So I'm just
sunflower butter.
Sunflower butter. Yeah, you got the it's like peanut butter except it's not. It's sunflower seed butter.
This is kind of like that almond juice or whatever. Giving me milk juice vibes over here.
Oat milk. Well, hey, we do what we can. But so within seasons, Caden, there's holidays. So you got today, June 26th, 2025. You got those holidays pulled up over your way.
That wasn't a bad segue.
I've had worse segues for sure than that one. Yeah. Definitely had word segues. I don't like that word though, segue. And that's a nice segue into this. That's actually a pet peeve word of mine. I feel like I don't like the word segue. So
I've never thought about it. I guess it can have multiple meanings, though. Segway.
It's a nice segue. Anyway,
it's Forgiveness Day.
Okay.
So,
have
you forgiven anyone today?
I forgive you for not liking segways, or for liking segways.
Yeah, I didn't. That's strong language there. I didn't say I liked them.
Okay, well, I forgive you anyway.
Hey, National Work from Home Day. I celebrated that today.
Yeah, Caden does that all the time. Yeah, there you go.
National Barcode Day.
I like some barcodes. I like the. I feel like that's what the kids are doing these days, or they're scanning I guess they're not barcodes, but the QR codes. I feel like that's what's hip today.
I've made a few QR codes.
Some of the apps though, like you have to have a subscription for it to work, which is dumb. I feel like.
But I just try to find the one where it doesn't say that.
The free trial.
Yeah, the free trial where you get all the sketchy ads on the side.
Yeah,
kind of like our bracket episodes.
They're going to say kind of like our podcast. So that's how we run this thing. A bunch of free trials, basically. So,
here's a unique one: watermelon seed spitting week.
Okay.
Any experience with that?
I don't. I usually get the watermelons that don't. They're either seedless or they don't have the seeds that you have to spit, like the little black seeds. Like some of them that have like the tan ones that you can just eat. So I usually do that. So yeah.
Have you ever eaten a black one on accident?
Yeah, and that's not fun. I feel like a watermelon plant's going to grow in my stomach or something when that happens. So yeah, I don't enjoy that. It's not great for your teeth either. So yeah.
It is. Let's do one more. I think I saw. Madagascar Independence Day. So, congratulations, Madagascar.
Yeah, congrats. I don't have anything to add to that, but congrats. Yeah. Nice.
What? Do you know anything about Madagascar? Wasn't there a movie one time? The
movie, yeah. I like to move it. That's all I know about Madagascar. Every time I hear Madagascar, I think of that lemur saying, "I like to move it." That's. And the zebra, right? There's the zebra and the lion and everything. And then there was the show Penguins of Madagascar. If you remember
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the penguins were like little, clever little spies kind of thing.
Have we ever had any players from Madagascar? Sounds like a Corey Price question. Something tells me no, but might be surprised.
No. Yeah, Corey Price would know. That would be a random question. I haven't talked to him in a couple of weeks. Hey, Corey, hope you're well. Have we ever had a player from Madagascar? Yeah, I haven't talked to him in a while, but yeah, I would. We have to have him on the show. Next time we have him on the show, we need to ask him if we've had any players from Madagascar.
Yeah, I'll remember. I won't forget that question.
Yeah, we'll write it down. Yeah, that one would be hard to forget. But yeah, congratulations to Madagascar. There. Guys, we have been away for a while, so thank you for your patience. We all know that your lives have not been the same without us. So thanks for your patience in that area here. Madeline is in the comments down here. She said her cats enjoyed our theme song, as everybody does. Caden, I feel like animals and people alike enjoy Guts and Bourbon, the theme song of Talkin Kentucky. So. And she also says the dead of winter and midsummer are awful. Yeah, if you take away that, yeah, I can deal with winter and summer. But in the middle of winter, when it's like totally overcast, there's no sunshine, it's like freezing for no reason.
Yeah. So when it's 100 or 0, those are the worst times.
I usually like my seasons to fall somewhere in
the double digits.
Yeah. Double digits, would be nice. Yeah, that's like where the magic is in the double digits for sure.
What's the best temperature? 75 maybe?
I was going to say 60s or 70s for sure. I'm going to go upper 60s or maybe mid 60s would be the best. Like 65, I think.
70 is pretty solid.
70 is pretty solid. Yeah. It's a nice round number, I feel like. Yeah.
What do you keep your thermostat on?
Maybe 71, rule 71. I think that would be good too.
It's true.
I usually in Baton Rouge, I kept it a little higher because it would have to run like nonstop because it's like 1,000 degrees outside. So even like 75 felt cool. So I usually kept it about mid 70s, honestly. But if you're talking about in Kentucky, I think 72 is usually the ideal temperature to keep it on.
Madeline agrees with me. 70.
70, yeah,
pretty good number.
It is, yeah. It gets expensive though. The lower you go down in temperature, the higher your bill goes up. So I just got to keep that in mind. But yeah, it has been a minute since we've been on here. So we're gonna play some catch up on some things tonight. We got some big topics that happened, a little while ago that we do have to catch up on. So I've got those mixed in here with some more recent things as well. But I've got 7 topics tonight, and I have enjoyed when I've asked Caden to pick a number 1 through 7, and then we jump in with topics. So I think that's what we're going to do tonight, to play some catch up on some things. Yeah, Caden, 1 through 7, what you thinking?
I'll go with Rondo, number 4.
Oh, that's always a great number, and it's a great topic tonight.
The guy we forgot on our.
Yeah, the guy
on our fantasy draft.
Well, he's not the only guy we forgot. We'll get to that later. But number 4 is that apparently Donald Trump used to play the flute, Caden. So at first I thought that was a joke, but apparently it was real. It was not. You see all these AI things floating around. But no, this was a real thing, real interview on a podcast. Where he said, I used to play the flute. Can you believe that? I used to take flute lessons. I could have been a great flute player.
Flautist.
Or flautist, yes. I don't think he said flautist, but that would be the correct terminology there. I just think of all the instruments, Caden, I wouldn't have pegged Trump as a flute player. I'm just going to say I would have, as many people would have probably pegged him as a trumpet player. I think there's multiple reasons for that. One, he's got the personality for it, right? He's got the ego for it. I think he would like that Trump was in the name of the instrument. I think, the best instrument has Trump in it. I feel like he would say it's the best instrument because you can't have it without Trump. I think he would say that. What do you think, Caden?
Well, honestly, good for him for admitting that he was a flute player. Not a lot of guys would do that. So
yeah, that's true.
That part's impressive. Yeah, I would have guessed trumpet as well. Trumpet or some brass instrument. Maybe maybe a French horn. Too.
Yeah, I could see French horn. I could see tuba, trumpet. I could see really any brass instrument. I didn't see flute. I think the only things more surprising than flute would probably be like oboe. I definitely couldn't see Trump playing oboe. Did you see that clip of Shaq trying to play oboe one time? I think it was on Jimmy Fallon.
I don't know how his hands wouldn't be too big for the keys.
They were. That's what was funny about it. I was surprised, Caden, that he played. It does take a lot of air to play flute, though. I mean, it takes more air to play flute than any instrument.
Flute is deceivingly really hard.
Oh, it's not even deceiving for me. I can't play flute to save my life.
It's similar to trumpet in the way that it's hard to make a decent sound when you first pick it up,
or any sound.
Yeah, or any sound
in some cases. So I remember trying to play flute when I was student teaching, and next to some 6th graders, and they were showing me up. So
what's the hardest instrument?
Trumpet. Definitely.
Is it trumpet? It honestly might be.
I think trumpet is the hardest brass instrument. I'm gonna say. I'm biased.
As far as making a good sound, probably trumpet.
Probably trumpet. Yeah, I would say. Flute would probably be up there though, for the reason you said. It's hard to just even make a sound. But oboe. I hear the back pressure on oboe. Really gives people trouble. So I think that oboe could be hard too. Madeline says electric guitar. Sorry, Madeline, I'm going to disagree with you there.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
All these are got to be hard. Now, that being said, I can't play electric guitar, but
yeah, I don't play guitar, but I feel like once you have the muscle memory of your left hand down, it's probably not too bad.
Yeah, you can get it. Yeah, if we did play electric guitar, it'd be easy.
And you can have the capo to just change keys. They don't have to transpose like we do, Coleman.
Yeah, you can't capo a trumpet. Yeah, so I mean,
one of these days, with how these Yamaha trumpets are going, they'll be able to play themselves.
Yeah,
can you imagine a trumpet with AI technology?
I can't. No, I don't want to know what that would sound like. You think it'd sound like a MIDI file, like Finale? It'd be about what it sounds like.
I don't know. Yeah, at that point, it's like pay to play.
Yeah, well,
then you make the Chicago Symphony.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, sign me up. Yeah, you just pay some money to win an audition. Yeah, it sounds like a good idea to me. But anyway, yeah, Donald Trump playing the flute. I think we were all surprised by that. Okay, what's another? What's our next topic here? We're talking about.
Let's do Aaron Harrison, number 5. Was he number 5? Or was that Andrew? I don't know.
I think that was Andrew. I think Aaron was number 2.
Oh yeah, right? You're right.
Okay, I still get them mixed up. Watched them play for 2 years, and I still can't tell them apart. But number 5 is Josh's Talkin Kentucky sticker. I don't think I see Josh in the comments right now. He's over in Provo, Utah. He's a couple hours ahead of us, or behind us, I guess. Caden, I don't think that we have a bigger fan than Josh Hart. I mean, that sticker, we've been getting some good advertisement. For those of you that don't know, Josh Hart, one of our loyal listeners, has a Talkin Kentucky sticker on his car. It's small but mighty. You have to squint to see it. But it is our Talkin Kentucky podcast art, font. And it's, Josh travels a lot for work right now. As we said, he's in Provo, Utah, on the campus of BYU. Oh, he's here. He's just listening. Okay. He's being a silent listener tonight. Most of the time he's not so silent, but there's Josh.
Dude, if he stays there too long, he'll be a Mormon.
Yeah, I know. Before too long. Yeah. He'll start.
He's been there a month.
He's been there a while. But, Josh, by the way, when's the next time you're coming back to Kentucky? And Clyde is in the one of our other loyal listeners here in the comments. Clyde Hare, it says he was watching Trump speak. Well, Caden, Clyde, we were just talking about Trump playing the flute. So I mean, I feel like you'd rather.
Can you imagine a Donald Trump flute recital? I would pay big money for that.
Yeah, talk about AI. Tell ChatGPT to make some recordings of Donald Trump playing the flute. I think that would be entertaining.
That'd be up there with these Bigfoot videos.
But anyway, Josh Hart, he's talking about a sticker here. He said it's very, very durable. Oh, and he's headed home to the Bluegrass on Saturday. I thought he was going to say like Thanksgiving or something. So look at that. Well, glad you get to come home soon, Josh. But yeah, Caden, we've gotten a lot of free advertisement. Do you think many people have walked by or pulled up, behind Josh and said, "Talkin Kentucky"? I wonder what that is. And they Google it and they come across.
They probably said, I think I've heard of that.
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
That's what they all say, right? I think I've heard of that.
That's what most people say to me when they see me, when I tell them. And in fact, today, somebody saw my KSR shirt and said, "Are you a KSR fan?" And I said, "Yes, but I have my own podcast as well called Talkin Kentucky." And they're like, "Oh, I'll check that out." So it's either I'll check that out or, yeah, I think I've heard of that. I've gotten a lot of that one. When do you think it's going to become
Wildcat Country comes up to you in Meyer, taps you on the shoulder? That's another one.
Yeah, well, but he straight up recognized us. But yeah, when do you think we're going to transition? So what's the next the graduated thing from? I think I've heard of that. Like, what's the next level up for us?
I have heard of that. What's the next?
Oh, I have heard of that. Okay, and then. But do you think when people say I have heard of that, they're going to recognize us? Like, what point do you think they're going to start recognizing us?
Hopefully never. I don't want the fame.
Well, I don't think we're in danger of getting to that point necessarily, where you're going to have to, have Secret Service to go to Meyer or something like that.
Yeah, like you're Michael Jordan or something.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, but it would be nice to get a little bit of recognition. I feel like I've gotten a couple people have recognized me, but literally just a couple. Most of them are like, I think I've heard of that, but I mean that's better than nothing.
Clyde says Ryan Lemon didn't watch the NBA draft. Well,
Neither
I didn't
did
either.
Yeah.
We didn't have any. We didn't have any. I looked at the list of who got drafted. I didn't recognize hardly anyone. Did you?
Well, besides Cooper Flagg, no, I didn't. I know less about people, about the draft class this year than any year I ever have. I don't know if that's because there's less Kentucky people in it or what, but
that's probably what it is. I feel like usually I can name 5 to 10 players that will easily go in the first round, but I guess since we don't have any draft picks, I don't care as much.
Hey, we're supposed to have a couple drafted, right? Maybe Amari Williams and Kobe Barea. I think they're at the tail end of the second round. They're supposed to get drafted in some mock drafts. That's what I've seen anyway. But we'll see. Yeah. But anyway, shout out to Josh for the Talkin Kentucky sticker and the advertisement. He said it's very durable. So, and it is. Yeah, that sticker's been on there for a while, Caden, and it's been across many state borders. So shout out to Josh there for sure.
Did what's his name ever get that hat? Atheo.
Oh, Atheo. I emailed him about it, but he hadn't gotten back with me yet. He wants a hat, but I feel like he's got to either receive the email or tell me that his address to ship him the hat. I feel like that.
We also never heard back from whoever won our draft.
Yeah, well, whoever we hear from first is going to get the hat. So, whoever won our bracket contest. So the bracket contest winner, which was like Commonwealth in your face 58, or Atheo. So whoever gets back with me first is going to get the hat. So, I guess that's what happens when your podcast is. I think I've heard of that is people that want a free hat take a minute to get back to you. We got some people down here in the comments talking about the La Familia TBT tournament again this year. Caden, I think, is it Sean Woods that's coaching it this year? I think I saw. It's not Tyler Eulis because he's at Arkansas now, unfortunately. But I saw a lot of the same people are coming back from last year, and including
they got pretty far last year.
Yeah, I think they got it to the championship, right? They played the Ohio State team, whatever they're called.
We lost, didn't we? Because one of our players couldn't play.
We did. Yeah, we did. I think it was Nate Sestina that was out. Remember? Which when Nate Sestina is your best player, it's probably not good.
Hey, he was carrying them though.
He was carrying. Well, Ainsley Amador's joining La Familia this year. It looks like Clyde says here. So, shout out to Ainsley. But yeah, I remember we were watching that game at KS Bar, Caden. Right? That's when we met Drew Franklin, right? And he said he would come on our podcast.
That's right.
We were watching us get blown out, and he was like, "Yeah, this isn't great," or something. But it looks like Sean Woods is coaching this year, and you got to watch any of it, Caden? I feel like it was entertaining to have some former UK players watch them in the middle of the summer last year.
Yeah, if I'm not doing anything, I'll watch it.
There you go. Sounds very exciting. Yeah, if I'm not doing anything.
What else am I gonna? What other basketballs happening during that time?
None. I think so. I mean, I think you should watch it from that standpoint. Okay, somebody pick a number 1, 2, 3, 6, or 7 in the comments. Somebody tell me 1, 2, 3, 6, or 7. That'll be the next topic that we talk about here.
Madeline wants a sticker for her cat carrier.
Hey, there we go, cats.
I didn't think that's what it would be used for, but that would work.
You can. I mean, we're not going to tell you.
You can put it anywhere.
Yeah, we're not going to tell you where you can't put your stickers. I mean, you can put it on your grill. You can put it on your laptop. Yeah, forehead. You can put it, wherever you want. Okay, Madeline says number 7, and this is a good one. I wanted to bring this up on here, and I'm not going to say the name of the place because I don't want to stir up any drama. But there's a little bit of and Josh says 6. We'll get to 6 next. There's a little bit of pizza drama, Caden, in Frankfurt. So this business here in town, this pizza place, the owner got mad because apparently there were like 38 8-year-olds that came in. I think I sent this to you.
Oh, yeah, you told me about this. You told me the place, but I don't remember.
And they individually bought slices of pizza. So, like, you know, some, I don't know if it's a field trip or what, but they individually bought, Claude says number 8. Claude, that's not 1 through 7. But they individually bought slices of pizza. They didn't call ahead, right? The pizza guy is saying it messed up all his lunch regulars, right? Because there's a line of 38 8-year-olds. But all the parents and all the sort of everybody on the kids side were saying, well, you know, you should be grateful that you had 38 customers, even if they were a bunch of 8-year-olds. So whose side are you on, Caden?
The customer side. I don't care how old they are.
Okay, so
a customer's a customer.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter how old they are, what they order, or if they call.
Yeah, unless they were causing issues. But it sounds like they were just in line buying their pizza.
Okay,
so
you
who
think
cares?
All the money's going to the same place. Yeah, that makes I can get behind that. I could also see, though, to play devil's advocate a little bit. I feel like if you're going to have that many people come in, you know, and they're all ordering the same, like, so let's say they're all ordering a slice of pepperoni pizza. Well, then you could just get that ready ahead of time and still make just as much money, Caden, on that stuff, and still be able to serve your lunch regulars. The reason he's mad is because all his regulars left because they were so backed up. Does that change your opinion at all?
No.
Okay.
I mean, they weren't all getting the same thing, right? So
I mean, probably not. Yeah, probably not.
I think you should be grateful in that situation. You had that many.
Madeline says the customer is always right. Well, that's true. That's a good model for business. I feel like the customer is always right. I think if you take that approach, you can't go wrong. But yeah, a lot of people. I'd say about 90% of Frankfurt is on the customer's side. There are some people on his side though. So just thought it'd be. Let us know your thoughts in the comments on that. But I thought it'd be a good little debate to keep it. I'm probably on the customer side too, but I don't know. I could see people's argument about wanting to call ahead and everything just to make sure that everything goes smoothly. I could see that being a thing for sure. Okay.
Yeah. Would I have done that if I was in the parent shoes? No, I would have gone.
You would have called
somewhere
ahead.
Like I would have got a couple Papa John's pizzas or something, or called that guy and got a large pizza. But
yeah, there's
no rules against what happened. So
that's true. You got to shout out to him just for supporting a local business, though. Rather than Papa John's going to a local place. I think that's admirable too. That's good. Okay, Josh says number 6 here, and this is something I've been wanting to talk about on here. Caden, there's a lot of trumpet players that are from Kentucky. They're like big time, successful, good trumpet players. I've been thinking about that about the whole trumpet Kentucky thing recently. And Caden, I mean, what's in the water?
Well, I know the high school that I went to, there was like a tradition there in that trumpet studio.
Yeah.
And I would say we weren't the only school like that, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
But even some of the colleges in Kentucky had incredible teachers over the years.
They have
to that tradition by the time when the kids went to college. So like Moorhead with Greg Wing, for example.
Well, if you think Greg Wing, if you count Vince, if you count, I don't know if Reese is originally from Kentucky, but he's been in Kentucky for some time. You got.
I think he's from the Carolinas, right?
Carolinas originally.
He went to Louisville for school, maybe.
You got that. You got John Rommel. He's from Louisville. Carl Sievers, also from Louisville. You got a lot of people, and then over there the Madisonville Maroons. You got you and Aaron, right? You got Cody, right? You've got my high school band. I was there with a guy named Chris Dudley, who's also a shout out Bill Adam guy who is in an Air Force band now playing professionally. You got Drew Odell, who's across town at the other high school in town. Yeah, I feel like there's an inordinate amount of great trumpet players coming out of Kentucky, and there's something in the water, you know.
Yeah, and then you got guys like John Stites and Chase Hawkins in Lexington who are teaching.
There you go.
Great trumpet. So
Doble, I guess we should mention our teacher.
Oh yeah,
Jason Doble. Yeah. Although I guess he's from Virginia, but that's okay. We'll still count him since he teaches at UK.
Eric Swisher at Murray. He's got a good trumpet history.
Eric Searville's from Cincinnati. I feel like that's close enough. We could count him as a Northern Kentucky person. Yeah, Cincinnati's basically just Kentucky, Caden.
It is.
They belong to Kentucky, not Ohio. In my opinion,
I'd be remiss to not say Sarah Herbert too at WKU.
Oh, there you go. Yep.
Teaches some jazz down here too.
Yeah. Madeline says, "What happened between?" Oh, okay, that's not. She's talking to Clyde, I think.
Oh,
yeah. Okay. That if you can see the comments right now, that would make way more sense. I was like, yeah, I mean, me and Caden are good. Nothing happened between us. We're fine. Everything's all good. But anyway, okay, Clyde 5's already been chosen. Okay, so now we got topics number 1, number 2, and number 3, which are actually the 3 biggest topics of the show. Let's choose one of those I'll let you choose number 1, 2, or 3, Caden. And then we'll take a couple of calls before we finish things out. But yeah,
number 2.
Okay, number 2. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander became only the 4th player in NBA history to win the league MVP, the finals MVP, the scoring title, and an NBA championship in the same season. The others were Shaquille O'Neal, Michael Jordan, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So, and we didn't put them on our all 2000s Kentucky team. Now, we've said that we've stood by that. Caden, do you think we should still stand by that now? after that, I feel like
hey, I stand by it just because I went off of what happened at UK. Obviously, he's probably one of the top 10 Cal players at UK. Still. Oh yeah, but that's nothing taken away from SGA. But I stand by it. We went with our heart, not our head.
Well, yeah, that's true. You gotta have Rondo in there, and everything. Wait, do we have Rondo?
No, we screwed up. No, we straight up screwed up with Rondo.
Okay. Oh yeah, we didn't have. Well, so we didn't have Rondo or SGA. Okay, well, that might be a problem. But
we were basically called complete useless idiots.
We were
by the entire Facebook community.
Again, we've been called worse before too. But Caden, I feel like it's fair to say that he has been a lot better in the NBA than we ever thought he would be. He was fine at Kentucky. But Caden, did you ever think that he would be NBA Finals and league MVP?
No.
Yeah.
No, I thought he'd be a really good role player. 6-man or maybe a decent starter for a team, but I didn't see this.
Claude says, but SGA won MVP, Caden. Yeah, but to be fair, Clyde, with our point.
Clyde, that doesn't have anything to do with college, though.
Our point is how they played at Kentucky. So that's where we're getting a lot of pushback right now. It's like, well, you guys left off the league MVP, but yeah, to be fair, he has been a lot better in the pros than he was at Kentucky. But yeah, still good. I did feel like every time the ball was in his hands, like my anxiety went down. Like I feel like the game just slowed down when the ball was in his hands.
Do you think someone would leave Michael Jordan off of the North Carolina list? Because was he that good at North Carolina?
That's an.
I know he hit that buzzer beater that one time, but
I mean, I know that I just know that he went to North Carolina. I don't have any memories of Jordan at North Carolina. I just know that he went there. It's kind of like Shai. Like people don't really. I mean, do you have a distinct memory of SGA at Kentucky? No, I don't either. I just remember him playing on the team where PJ missed all the free throws. Like that's like all I remember. That's nothing against him. It's just that I don't remember. I mean, he didn't really have a memorable moment. Like, I mean, when you think of Aaron Harrison, you think of all those threes and the buzzer beaters in the tournament, right? When you think of Anthony Davis, you think of
North
him
Carolina
blocking shots and North Carolina. See, exactly. Okay. What about Willie Cauley-Stein even? Is there a moment that comes to mind with Willie Cauley-Stein?
An oop where he dunked over like the whole team.
Yeah, there you go. Or are you talking about the one I think of the fast break dunk at Florida.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, there's that. Yeah, let's try to think of some other guys. John Wall. Actually, funny enough, my biggest memory of John Wall is when
first game.
He had the buzzer beater. Yeah, against
or UConn, the UConn game.
I think it was Miami of Ohio. Yeah, I mean,
So.
UConn, he just like scored a bunch of points, I think. Mike Dowd says he didn't have a chance at Kentucky. Cal didn't start him until
he just all he did was score a bunch of points. Yeah, he scored like our final 25 points in that game.
Well,
that's all he did.
Like I said, he just scored a bunch of points. That's all he did. Claude said, but when he did eventually become the starter, the rest was history. Yeah, I agree. I mean, he really, he had as Cal would say, a ramp up period. For the NBA, it felt like. But yeah, no, I think he's the most surprising NBA Finals MVP coming out of college of all time, for sure. But yeah, we're just saying, we're not hating on him. We're just saying, Caden. But well, give us a shout, guys. 502-234-1504. It's been a minute. We'd love to hear from you. And give us a shout. I'd also, by the end of the show, or maybe to close out the show, it's about this time every year we do our football win-loss record predictions, which is not going to be good this year. Probably gonna be worse than last year, but we'll do some digging and maybe we'll see. But phone lines are open, so I'm sure we'll get a call from somebody, whether it's one Clyde here or Josh Hart or something here soon. But we got a couple big time Kentucky sports topics left. It's kind of funny. It's like the biggest ones we haven't chosen yet. We talked about Donald Trump playing the flute, and we talked about
Madagascar
and Josh's Talking Kentucky sticker. I feel like, have we done a Talking Madagascar? Have at one point.
I don't know. Have we?
A lot of talking about a lot of things for sure. But hey, you're on with Talking Kentucky. Who's this?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got.
Can you hear me?
Yep, we got you, Clyde.
Oh, what's up? What's going on?
How's it going, man?
It's going good. Just leaving BBS from my church on the way home.
Where are you right now?
I'm on next to where the Chuck E. Cheese is in Lexington.
Okay. We're
yeah, you know what that is?
I think so. We're hearing somebody in the background talking there.
Oh, that's my mom. She's on the phone with me.
Oh, there you go. Nice. Okay, well, we'll tell her.
Yes.
Hello for sure.
I'm on Woodhill.
Nice. Okay. Well, Clyde, what you think about SGA winning the finals and everything?
Did y'all have? I think he deserved it. He won MVP, scoring title, finals MVP. It was only the right way for him to win MVP and win the NBA championship because they were the best team all season. But, I give credit to Indiana. They balled out. They did everything they could. Right. But it's like when Halliburton went down, their spirits kind of went down, and I hate that he tore his Achilles because he's such a great young player. And hopefully he could just be the recovery. When did y'all do chili dough?
People forget Casey Wallace, is on the Thunder there too. So get a couple cats getting rings. That's pretty cool. So that's awesome. But well, this is kind of next on our topics, so we'll talk about it here in a few. But man, I got to ask what you think of Vince Merrill going to Louisville.
Well, honestly, I was shocked when it happened. But if you remember, when KSR had that talk with him back in January, they
Yeah,
on
it's
the
like
phone with him during the radio show. And I think it all really started with Stoops was taking it. And I think that's
yeah, man. No, I completely agree. I think and you broke up there a little bit, but I think it all went downhill when Stoops, like, I honestly think when Stoops almost went to A&M, that's when everything started to shift, and that's when Vince kind of started to think a little bit differently too. I think.
But why would he go to Louisville? Because he used to dog Louisville. He used to call him the little bro up the street. Now he's calling us the little bro down the street. How does that make any sense?
Well, that's a good, to use a term that Caden likes. That's a good segue into our next topic here. But we'll let you go, man. But thanks for calling in. It's good to talk to you, and we'll catch you soon.
And go La Familia. Let's cheer him on. And I don't know if you saw my comment, but Indus Kenta's brother is playing again on La Familia. Got to know today, I think. Today.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah, go La Familia and the TBT for sure.
Yep.
But, all right. Thanks for calling in, man.
All right. Go Cats.
Go Cats. Yeah.
Coleman, I did some research.
Okay, you did some research.
So there are no NBA players from Madagascar, but they're a shocker. I know. But there have been 4 players that played in college from Madagascar.
Okay. Who do you know who they
and
played for?
3 of the colleges I've never heard of, but one of them played for Tulsa.
Okay. Yeah. What's
2003 to 2007.
Tulsa's the Golden Wave, right? I think that's their
clue.
That's their mascot. I'm pretty sure. Do you know the other colleges?
Andrews University.
Okay.
And then 2 guys who went to Seward County CC. I don't know what that means.
I'm guessing it's a community college.
They're still playing too.
Okay. Well, yeah. Madagascar. But Mike Dowd in the comments says, Clyde, I can't wait for football season. And Clyde says, you're smoking that pipe too much.
Who's he talking to? You're talking about Mike's comment there?
Yeah, he's talking about Mike, I think. But as I said, Clyde's call is a nice segue into our next topic of Vince Merrill going to Louisville. Obviously, it's old news now, but we have to give our take on it. Obviously, Cam, what do you think about Vince or anybody going to Louisville?
Yeah, I don't understand it. It doesn't really make sense to me. It's kind of even worse than Cal going to Arkansas, honestly. But
oh yeah, I think anytime you go to Louisville, it's way worse. Yeah.
He was buddies with the coach, right? So
yep, but he's also buddies with Mark Stoops, though. So that's what's weird.
They didn't even know about it at first until it got leaked.
Apparently everybody found out about it, including Mark Stoops, when they saw the leak on Twitter or X. But yeah, I mean, he was like all in on the L's down thing, and then he goes to Louisville. You know, it is a little surprising, but I mean, people calling him a traitor and everything. You know, I see and hear all that, but the thing that's more surprising to me, or more telling to me at least, is how bad things must actually be in the UK football program. I mean, for Vince to leave the SEC, to leave Kentucky, where he's coaching with one of his good friends, like lifelong good friends. He's, basically welcome here for life. He probably gets that GM position at UK or some sort of like, lifelong, or as long as he wants position with UK football, similar to what Cal would have had if he hadn't have left here. And he gives all that up to go to Louisville. It just tells me that, things must be pretty bad. Because, like, let's say he goes to Louisville and it doesn't work. Like, they start losing. It's like a Kenny Payne situation, which I don't think it would be that bad. But let's say he goes and he like can't get the rosters in that they need. It's a total flop. Then you're hated by Louisville and UK. Like Kenny Payne's kind of in no man's land right now. I mean, he's at Arkansas, which I guess is no man's land if you want to think of it. But
that's the more surprising part to me as a football coach. You're coaching in the SEC, the best conference in the country. And you think if they left UK, it would be to go somewhere else in the SEC.
Yeah.
But instead, he goes out of the conference.
To play devil's advocate, like Louisville could conceivably win the ACC, but in the SEC, it's like everybody's just kind of beating up on each other, unless you're Texas or Georgia or Alabama.
But from a competitive standpoint, wouldn't you want that?
Yeah,
I think want to be in the best conference and probably going to be the most money in that conference.
That's true. I feel like I feel like you should want that. But Vince, I guess he wants to he wants to take the easy way out. He wants to try to get a path to the playoff of where you can run through the ACC and maybe win the conference and make it to the playoff. But yeah, I'm with you, Caden. I feel like you want to be in a more competitive atmosphere and you want to play the best teams. The SEC, they don't say it just means more for nothing. Mike says, I've heard his head recruiting title was taken away and given to Grand. I did hear that as well. I've heard he's sort of had less authority in the recruiting realm. If you listen to Matt Jones and all them kind of talk about it, I've heard he kind of had less authority there than in years past. So that probably factored into it too, I'm sure. Claude says he's little dog now. So that's true. Bark. It's weird, and it's gonna be. What do you think it's gonna be like with Vince coming to? Well, actually, we're gonna go there this fall. Man,
we'll still beat them.
You think even this year you still think we'll beat them?
I never expect to lose to Louisville in literally anything.
You have made that clear on the show before. That's for sure. But our last topic is something that's a little bit more uplifting. Story. Murray State baseball, of course, had made it, not only beat Duke in the super regional, which was awesome, but they made it to the college World Series. It was their first time ever making it to a super regional, and then of course the first time ever making the World Series. It's cool to see like small teams like that where NIL is not really a factor yet. And I know it's baseball. It's not like it's basketball or football. But it's nice to see like coaching and like team efforts and like these little small schools still making it big.
Yeah, it made me think about whenever I saw the picture of their baseball stadium, it made me think about St. Peter's. Honestly, like the story about their gym leaking and they couldn't practice and all that, and it held like 1,000 people or something. Unfortunately, it made me think back to that, but I agree, it is cool.
Yeah, it was like I think 800 people, and there was a story out there that the coach mowed the grass, which he does not mow the grass. That was a rumor, I think, but I like to think that he mows the grass. I think that would be a feel good story for sure.
Plus, every time I get to share that link about Duke losing, it's a good day. And I didn't really ever think I'd be able to share that for anything other than basketball, but here we are.
Yeah, did Duke win? No, they lost twice, and we posted it twice. on our page. So if you go to our page,
Yeah,
you
if I post it and then I shared the original post the second time it happened.
we haven't posted much since our last show. I think we posted the Did Duke Win link twice. Then I posted something that said, what's everybody think about Vince leaving? And then I posted, like today, I posted, come watch us tonight. I think
By the
that's all I
way,
posted.
Cody's the one that keeps up with the Duke losses because I'll just like be having a normal day and then I'll see a message that just says post it.
And we all know what it means.
We all know what he's talking about.
And it's usually basketball, season.
Mm.
Yeah, so Cody does two things. He lets us know when Duke loses, and he kicks people out of our Facebook group. That's like what Cody, or he moderates.
He's the bouncer. He's the bouncer.
He's our bouncer for sure. Yeah. And
he grills.
And he grills, yes.
And plays trumpet.
Yeah, so really Cody does it all. Really. Cody for president, honestly. But well, guys, we'll do the last call for calls. I don't know if Josh is still over there in Provo listening. We haven't had Josh Hart call in a while, but 502-234-1504. Madeline, anybody else that wants to call, give us a shout. And then to round it out before we get out of here, we'll go through the football schedule, and we'll see what happens. But I guess we can go ahead and dig into that a little bit here. I'm gonna try to give my I know a lot of us have been negative about football, but I'm gonna try to be positive. Okay, I'm gonna try to be I'm gonna try to give my I'm not even gonna try to be positive. I'm just gonna give my honest opinion of what I think is gonna happen, which I think is what a good journalist should do. Okay, first game, August 30th against Toledo. My old high school basketball teammate was the quarterback at Toledo. He's now
Rockets.
Yeah, the Rockets. He's now in the NFL, so he's no longer playing for them. So I have no tie to Toledo anymore. Toledo's supposed to be good. Okay, and they actually beat Mississippi State last year, which wasn't saying much last year. But they didn't just beat Mississippi State. They destroyed them, smashed, as Bruce Pearl would say. But I like to think we're going to come out and win that game. So, I'm going to go win 1-0 for the first week.
Yeah, well, we're going to beat Toledo 1-0.
Okay, yeah. So then the following week, also a home game. Ole Miss Rebels. Last time we played Ole Miss, I was there in attendance. I still don't know how we won that game, but we did. Stoops mouthed an expletive into my camera after the game, and it was very exciting. I think they're going to be out to get us, Caden. I think we lose that one. I'm going to go 1-1.
I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to say 2-0.
Oh wow! They look at Caden and say, I didn't see this coming.
I don't know why.
Caden's got us starting strong here. Then we're still at home. We play Eastern Michigan on September 13th. Claude says we're going to be 2-10 here in the comments. And this is probably one of the two that he has, is us beating Eastern Michigan. So I'm going to go I'm going to go 2-1 here.
3-0.
3-0. They're still undefeated. Then we go into a bye week. With Caden's Kentucky football team, they go into the bye week healthy. They're 3-0, undefeated, getting ready to go on the road to play
it'll come.
Yeah, it'll come. Going on the road to play South Carolina in Columbia, a team that we have not beat for a few seasons now, that we used to beat all the time. I'm going to be optimistic here and say this is one that we're going to steal that we really shouldn't this year, and we need to get back on track against South Carolina. They pounded us last year at Kroger Field. I feel like we're gonna play to win that game. I'm gonna go 3-1. Cats beat beat Carolina.
I'm gonna say loss on this one, 3-1 as well.
Okay, so we're both at 3-1. Here it comes. It's really going to come with this next one because we go on the road the following week to play the Georgia Bulldogs. So loss. I'm going to go 3-2.
Loss 3-2.
All right, guys. Well, luckily we get a bye week after that to recover. Get some surgeries done. Get some insurance claims filed in that bye week. And then we get a nice get right game at home against the Texas Longhorns,
who I am seeing have the number 1 recruiting class.
Yeah, and it's at home though, so hey, get a night game. Get people going to Keeneland. Doing the double dip. You win some money on the ponies over at Keeneland, then you go over to Kroger Field. Yeah, I mean, you get some magic happening. You might be able to keep it within 40. So I'm going to go. Yeah.
Come on, Clyde. Have some optimism.
Yeah, Clyde says we lose by 50 to Georgia. Clyde, we are not losing by more than 49. It's not happening. But
you lost 3-3.
Yeah, I'm going to go loss too. I'm also 3-3. But then, luckily, the next week we get to play Tennessee. So, another orange team in Lexington. I mean, we don't beat Tennessee, and I say this every year. It's like Groundhog Day. Like every year in June, I look into this camera and I say, we don't beat Tennessee, and I'm not gonna pick Tennessee or pick us to beat Tennessee until we do. So. Yeah, lost 3-4.
Isn't it? I'm reading where Tennessee lost their quarterback. Is that true?
Yeah, he quit because he wasn't making enough money. He was only
the fact that you can say that in college now is insane.
He was making $10
million.
He was making
at Tennessee. He's going to make 20 somewhere else.
He was making well, who knows what the actual numbers are, but apparently he was only making $2 million at Tennessee, and he wanted to make $4 million, and the coach was like, no. And then he entered the transfer portal, and nobody wanted him except for UCLA, and apparently now he's making $500,000. So, got a raw deal there.
Oh man,
that's what I've heard, but I still think we're gonna lose. So yeah,
I'm gonna be optimistic. They don't got their quarterback.
They're down.
It's a home game for us, right?
Yeah.
4-3. Let's do it.
Okay. Yeah, you're gonna send Smokey home sad. I'm at 3-4. Caden's at 4-3, which I didn't think would happen. Now, this is another one that I think we could go on the road and steal at Auburn. We always steal one of them. I don't know. I'm being optimistic, and then I'm picking us to go on the road and win 2 SEC games. Traditionally, in the past few years, Kentucky's played better on the road than they have at home for whatever reason. I don't know. I was at the Ole Miss game last year, and then I was also at the Vandy game. We beat Ole Miss and lost to Vandy. Doesn't make scientific sense, but I could see us going on the road November 1st and beating Auburn. So, going to go back at 500, 4-4 against Auburn.
Loss 4-4.
Oh, now what's your rationale for beating Tennessee and Ole Miss, but losing to Auburn?
Honestly, one's home and one's not. It's the biggest reason.
You remember our post-game show last year when Auburn beat us? Brad went on this big rant and he was saying, well, blah, 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 blah. And John was like, yeah, but Brad, we lost to Auburn. So, okay. So we're both at 4-4. Is that right?
Yeah. 4-4.
Okay. Yeah. So, Florida at home is the next one here. I feel like we've had Florida's number the past few years. I could see this really being a toss-up game. It just depends on how good our O-line and how good Zach Calzada is. But I could see us potentially winning this game, and if I'm being optimistic, I'll lean and say this is our 5th win, and we'll go 5-4 and beat Florida.
I'm gonna go with loss 4-5.
Okay, 4-5. Here it is. Okay, now we're gonna play another good trumpet school, Tennessee Tech, here at home, and I see us getting this. We're going bowling, Caden. This is 6-4. We're gonna beat Tennessee Tech.
We'll beat Tennessee Tech.
Yeah. So yeah, there we go. See, now we're being more
5,
optimistic.
5-5, I think.
Man, if people were pissed about our all 2000s bracket, they're really going to be pissed about this, or they're really going to not understand this. November 22nd, away at Vandy. Okay, now I think I don't know if they have Diego Pavia back. Does anybody in the comments know if they have if they'll have Diego Pavia back? I don't know if they will or not. But either way,
sounds like they are, according to this article.
I'm gonna let you pick, Caden, first on this one. Cody would say loss.
I'm going loss.
Yeah, I think just out of spite for me paying $200 to go to the game last year and losing to Vandy, I'm going loss too. Yeah, I think I'm going loss here. Yeah, again, really just out of spite. So 6-5 losing to Vandy. That would be the most Kentucky football thing ever, to beat Auburn, South Carolina, and Florida, and then lose to Vandy. Claude's really. Claude has his losing.
Now, Clyde, if I was saying this, you'd be all over me. Tell me I'm too negative. I think I have them better at 5-6 than Clyde would.
That's a little self-proclaimed, Caden. But yeah, I'm at 6. I'm at, I guess, what, 6-5? Yeah, with us losing to Vandy. Yeah, so the last game is Louisville. Caden, are you actually going on the record with us beating Louisville?
6-6. We make a bowl.
I'm going 7-5. We make a bowl. See, we're being optimistic. I feel like let's put these graphic. You want to get people talking. We'll put out this 7-5 Kentucky football prediction.
Yeah, they'll say Caden didn't know what he's talking about, and I'll say you're right.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's why
you're right. But I do know what I'm talking about with Louisville.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna beat Louisville.
We're gonna beat Louisville, and we're gonna lose to Vandy.
Hey, I'll say this:
if I know anything about Kentucky football, it's that.
Yeah, you're learning well, Caden. Mike says Clyde is definitely on drugs. Well, that's just allegedly there, Mike. But yeah, Mike says how good the quarterback is determines every game. Yep, plus the O-line. I completely agree. But I will say, to Caden's point here, I know he said he doesn't know anything about Kentucky football, but if you can beat Toledo and Ole Miss, which it's a big ask, but if you can win that Ole Miss game, you're sitting pretty. If you can go into the bye,
we say that it's always Ole Miss. You notice that?
It is, yeah. And well, last year it was too, but we beat Ole Miss. But the problem was we got destroyed by South Carolina. So right before that, so that was what was weird.
People thought we were going 12-0 when we beat Ole Miss. Remember that?
Well, it'd be a problem with that because we had already lost 2 games.
Or was it the year before?
Yeah. It was a few years back. Remember when Will Levis was the quarterback?
Mm-hmm.
And I had to do the post-game show by myself. Because I think Cody was going to do it with me, but he was like, he bailed.
Yeah, you asked like 2 people, and it fell through. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Is that the one I call? Did I call into it? I think I did call in.
Did.
I was driving.
I called into your Michigan post-game show one time. I think we won, and I called in. I was like, "Hey, we won." You're like, "Yeah."
Was it the London game? The one we said we lose.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was London. Yeah, I'm glad we don't play in London anymore. Like I want to play in London, Kentucky or something. Play in you know, just I want to play in Maui again. I want to play some of those some of these domestic
Pope said we're playing. Pope said we're going to do Maui at some point. Clyde says 2-10. So is he saying we're going to lose every SEC game?
I think that's what that means. Yeah.
Come on, we're not going to lose every SEC game.
Clyde, what are the 2 wins that you foresee?
I think he's saying Toledo and Tennessee Tech, right?
He could be saying he's saying that we're going to lose one of Toledo, Eastern Michigan, and Tennessee Tech. So I guess he's saying that Eastern Michigan and Toledo are 2 wins. I could see us doing something stupid though, like beating Eastern Michigan and Texas or something, something that because it happens. And I only say that because it happens every year. Last year we got blown up by South Carolina. We almost beat Georgia. We did beat Ole Miss. And then the, rails fell off. Well, we've silenced Clyde. He didn't have anything to say. But Caden, what should we name this episode? Is it Talking Madagascar? Do we have
I looked it up and we didn't have one.
Well, we've all got to have a Talking Madagascar, I feel like. So want to do that?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Well, it's good to catch up with everybody. Good to be back on here. I never, know what we're going to talk about. I didn't think we'd talk about Tulsa basketball players from Madagascar tonight, or anything of the sort. But glad we did.
You think he'd come on the show?
Probably so. Yeah, I mean, he probably didn't get a lot of media requests. I mean, I'm not judging the guy.
His name is Charles Ramsdale. He's from Oklahoma.
I thought you were going to say Charles Ramsey. He's the guy that said dead giveaway.
Wait just a second. It says birth city, Oklahoma, but my filter says country Madagascar.
Well,
do you think he moved to Madagascar at some point?
It's a bold move to move from Oklahoma to Madagascar.
The other three people on this list, it's like towns in Madagascar. Just looking at, I can't pronounce them, so I'd assume. But his says Oklahoma. I wonder if he moved there and then came back. We can ask him.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, let's reach out. Let's ask him. Yeah, I think we should have him on the show. Yeah, I mean, I'll follow him on Instagram or something. I guess I'll just DM him. I mean, he
probably took the Ramel Bradley route. It's probably agriculture now.
Give him an NIL deal sponsored by Starbucks. Madeline says next week. Yeah, we'll be back on here next week. God willing, and we'll keep y'all up to date on that. And thank you folks very much. So, Talking Madagascar, for Coleman Scott, and for Caden Holmes, and for Charles. This has been Talking Kentucky, and see you guys next time. Go Cats.